Hey, Sam.
Hmm.
Here's my
Good.
here's my child that's
Hey, welcome everybody to
smart.
innervisionJ FM. We're here live and in person with Hey Joe, Alan C, and believe it or not, maybe Frosty the Snowman in the house. You remember that Frosty the Snowman story? So with the girl, she had to get warmed up, right? And
Right.
he put her in the greenhouse, and
Right.
but he couldn't go in the greenhouse because it would melt him down. So it reminds me of like the reversal. Your story there with the
Don't you cry. I'll be thought again someday.
yeah, so thumpity thump thump thump, or something like that. Well, anyway, Christmas is Thanksgiving is like what 3 days away.
Yeah, we got a
Today's
couple of
Monday.
days till Thanksgiving. Just
Uh,
hit the food bank earlier today and got a turkey and got all the
mm,
fixings for Thanksgiving. Boy, am I grateful for the small town that I live in because man,
mm.
this type of spread would not be handed out to less fortunate folks like myself. Uh,
But
man, in the
is
big
it
city,
cooked or not cooked?
no, I got to cook it. But hey, no problem, man. Yeah, I'll get warm in the same.
So you're gonna
Uh,
smoke it? Like
I,
smoke it?
I don't know if I'm gonna smoke it. I got a roaster, so I'll probably just roast it.
Roast
I
it?
was hoping that I could get a hold of somebody up here with a smoker uh
Hmm.
and get that thing done, but we'll see.
I tell you, Jesse, a guy who gives me the ride to church, he said that he wanted to have ribs, but he said it costs $7,000. I mean, no, that's 7,000, $700. Is that right for a rack of ribs?
It depends on how many
Well,
you're
he has a large
feeding.
family. I mean, well,
Yeah.
a lot of brothers and
So
cousins.
$700 is not out of the ballpark for I'd say feeding 30 people some ribs. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's about $700.
Wow. Because when we used to eat ribs, they used to come like a rack of ribs in a package, and I think it was like $10.
Right.
A rack like that
Yep.
with the barbecue sauce already on it. So I'm
Wow.
figuring like 30 people, 30 times that still would be a kind of 300, I guess. Yeah.
No, when I first moved to Denver, I worked down at Third and Federal at a transmission shop, and right in the same parking lot as us was a old black guy that did ribs, and they were just so wonderful.
Hmm.
After I bought my first house there, he catered our housewarming party.
Oh man.
Hmm.
It was just so good. And the ribs are just cheap. Across the street from us, uh, to the to the north, no, to the east,
Hmm.
uh, has has to be to the north was a steakhouse, you know,
Hmm.
a Greek steakhouse and $1.25 ribeyes.
Dollar
Golly.
25.
$1.25 sirloins.
Man, oh
Oh,
man, that was
so
probably 20, 30 years ago.
Well,
oh
yeah, it was
something.
1980, 19, 1980.
Hey, folks in the Innervision FM universe, do me a big fat solid while you are liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. Tell us in a comment, just one comment. What are some things you remember? Meat prices, holiday fixins prices for the Thanksgiving dinner. Uh, Things sure have changed. They are a little bit more expensive, that's for sure. And, you know, we have kind of averted the SNAP crisis somewhat for the folks that are on SNAP benefits, but that program does need to be overhauled. We are looking at $100.8 billion per year to outlay the SNAP benefits program. along with some of the other subsidies that go into that. And it'd be a really good thing if we could just get back to those that actually needed it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
it's interesting because a lot of folks are going to find themselves having to look for work, uh, which, I'm a blind guy. I'm going deaf. I don't mind looking for work myself, but it puts us into a kind of a quandary because our speech package prices for the leading speech package called JAWS has priced many of the blind out of the market. It's well over $2,000 now for a new package. And if you have a existing package with a service maintenance agreement, if you are one day outside of your maintenance agreement, they're not going to accept your $500. Oh, sorry, I'm late. Now you got to come up with a full 2,000. So a lot of blind folks are not too happy about that. Vocational rehabilitation, of course, is the go-to when you're blind and you want to try to find a job. But let's face it, those guys are overclocked,
Yeah.
meaning they're really burned out. There's probably about 800 clients per rehab counselor in some cases.
Hmm.
So man, it gets really dicey. So, if you're in a situation where vocational rehabilitation just isn't coming through for you, hey, don't get mad at them. Uh, you know, give them a little bit of, cut them a little slack because uh, we are witnessing some failing systems, but there is hope. Um, with the advent of AI, with the advent of some of these freeware open source speech packages out there, the blind are still able to look for work, even though there is a 70 to 90% underemployment rate. So if you're a person that's hiring the disabled, look at the disabled not as discards, look at them as high value assets. And I'm going to tell you why. Uh, the blind, for instance, and otherwise disabled folks, we've been dealing with broken systems all our lives. We know how to navigate them. We know how to operate within them. And some of us have gotten quite good at navigating the system and providing, uh, well, we can't really provide advice, but we can give you educational materials which could possibly potentially help you. And it sucks that we got to put it in that frame, that vein of um, instead of saying, "Hey, I got a surefire way to help you out," it's uh, you know, don't take my word for it. Try this out for yourself. If it helps you out, then good. Uh, I don't know. It's just all this legal stuff that people twist themselves into
Hmm.
rather than just getting up, standing up, and helping their brother and their sister.
Yes. The old-fashioned way of doing it, like, each one teach one, each one help one, stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah. I was kind of like, I was supposed to like promoting, and we're not getting paid for it. There's an app that I guess the community connects with people. I mean, here's some pretty. I guess it reported like some 14-year-old girl was missing. Then this other one about a cat was missing, and then it was kind of funny. It kind of like tries to censor you on what you say. So this person was saying, ICE is in this location. Be on the lookout. And then I chimed in and said, I'm so glad that ICE is doing this job. Thumbs up. And then when I was about to post it, I said, oh, some people might find what you're saying offensive. And I said, I don't care. Boom. you know, I said, please.
It's
So,
interesting with the stuff that is going on with our current governance right now. There's a lot of stuff talking about the Democrats with what they're saying these days about, hey, military, if you find some orders that you don't like, don't follow them.
Oh, and did you hear that one girl had to walk it back because she was on Sunday news show, and she said the news, which I'm surprised that the news reporter even said something like this. She says, "What specifically uh, were the orders that you're recommending them not to obey that are unconstitutional?" And she says, "At this point, I can't come up with any." And I'm thinking like walking it back, walking it back. She,
See what they're trying to do is do the cartel boats that they're sinking and blowing up and the cartel guys that they're killing. That's what
Mhm.
they're saying. That's not legal. Well,
Right.
what do you mean it's not legal? Everybody wants us to go defend everything around the world, but we can't defend our own country.
Yeah, and there, as far as I know, that big load that they got up in the Highlands Ranch, that was enough stuff to massacre like probably the whole state of Colorado.
I would
And then,
imagine so. And that was a storage unit that was seized, I guess. Somebody forgot to pay their bill, huh?
yeah, no, well, he's in jail. He was in jail. They had caught him on something else, and of course he wasn't going to say, "Well, I have a stash over here, I got to pay on," and so he was just hoping that it would just fade away, and that if it did get sold, no one would know. But they tracked it down to who was paying on this, and then found
Wow.
out he was, sitting there in jail. So they had the man. And I wonder if they find something that you attempt, isn't it something called attempted murder?
Sure. I mean,
I mean,
there's
would that be
attempted.
under attempted murder?
Um, no, having those types of, I don't know.
No, I'm
I
just thinking, but
They need to put mandatory death sentence
yeah,
to drug
Trump
dealers.
just talked about that with his
I
first
mean,
term. He talked about that.
mandatory. I mean, that's what Duterte did here. It worked too pretty well.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what they do in China,
He
man.
got he got in trouble with. I mean, and they even turned him over to the the world court thing, and it's like, what a bunch of crap. And that's Marcos that did that. Oh well, we have to abide by their rules. No, you don't. What's wrong with you?
Hmm,
Who made
yeah,
them judge and jury?
yeah,
Themselves?
this is right.
that
And
is, yeah.
and then about the Tina Peters situation. Now it's up to police to either pardon or send her, let her go over to the federal level. And somebody was comparing like this guy that was illegal that ran into the traffic because he didn't know where the off ramp was and unlived about 4 people. He uh, he was given 100 years. Kim Kardashian came in, and then he lowered it down to 9 years.
Yeah, I think it was like, yeah, I think you're right.
Right. So they're saying, well, if you lower it like a murderer, unlike 4 people, how come you can't do it to Tina Prentice who didn't murder anybody? So it's like we'll see what he
Anna
does.
Griswold is the problem.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's because she did something even more crazy. Like she had put all the codes and backlogs on the internet. Oh, and it was out there for like I think a good four
It was a
months.
couple of few months. Yeah, it was a couple of
Yeah,
months, dude.
nothing happened to her.
Yeah.
Nothing. And it looks like Comey maybe walked back too.
And Comey and Letitia James have been apparently dismissed. Now, this is without prejudice. So this means that as long as they can, I guess, legally swear in this attorney general and resubmit, they might be okay to reopen this. But
It's
wow.
going to go to military, try to beat tribunals.
Well, hey, Joe, this is interesting because 3, 4 years ago, the big conspiracy freaks were all about the military tribunals. Well, now we come full circle, and the military tribunals are in the news. If not the
Trump is
military,
talking it.
yeah, and if not the tribunals themselves, at least the topic of the unicorn, the uniform,
UCMG, yeah.
yeah, the
There's
uniform
Code of
military
Military Justice.
justice code. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, Liz, if you looked at some of the hashtags I done, you say, well, that's not in the hashtags. Well, sometimes we go to different levels, and then we'll get back around to it. Like the Three Dog Night. I love that song. Mama told me not to come. I've got to think.
Plus your whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea. What's all these crazy questions they're asking me?
Yeah, man, I love that song, man. It's like I'm trying to think if I ever been to a party where I thought I should I shouldn't have been. I remember one time when I was a teenager. Nobody really ever invited me to a party, but I went to this one, and I was just sitting in the corner, just looking at the album cover. And then eventually, people started, leaving, and the guy says, "Hey, you got somewhere else to go?" And I'm thinking like, "Oh yeah, I guess I should." It was back in the days when you didn't have a cell phone; you had to actually dial up the cab service
Right.
and call. And I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I think, and then it was a time when I used to go to this place. It was called the Golden Nugget, but it became a deadhead place.
Oh, wow.
And these people are going there, and I guess one time they said, "Hey, you can hang over and sleep over at our house." I had my own place, and I just wanted. I went and I found out that this girl's parents was paying for her rent, and it was like this big house, one of those Victorian houses, and her parents were paying the rent, and sometimes she would have people sleep over and stuff like that. But I thought that was so unusual that parents, and this girl must have been, say, like 24, 25 years old. And I'm thinking like, why would the parents be paying this girl's rent at that age? But
College?
college
Yeah.
could be, could be. Yeah, I didn't ask her if she was, you know, what she did like during the day, but it was just interesting that she'd have people like sleeping over. And I mean, it was a big house, so many rooms and stuff like that. So I said, and then I wondered what kind of money was her parents making, you know, to pay for something like that. But anyway, so not so weird of situations where I found myself, but yeah, But I love that song. If you get a chance, $3 Night, Mama told me not to come. And then let me see, a breakthrough hit, 1977. Oh no, never mind. That was and then number two, 1991. Michael Jackson released the album released the song Black and White, which they said that was controversial because they had all these different faces changing, which I'm not sure why that was so controversial. But so one of MJ's biggest global statements. Yeah, okay, whatever. Uh, the 1970 George Harrison song "My Sweet Lord," and it was first Beatles solo that was number one, and it
There was
sparked.
some controversy around that, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a song. He's so fine. He's so fine. Uh, and I could see that.
Yeah,
Sean Long. What's the name of that group?
Shangri-La's.
Shangalong. Yeah.
I guess I could see it, but only very vaguely. I mean, My Sweet Lord and He's So Fine doesn't, it sounds similar, but not the same.
Well,
Yeah.
they were trying to say that their chord progression.
Oh, come on. There's four chords in My
Well, yeah,
Sweet Lord.
they don't allow that anymore though either.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's not they can't copyright a chord progression.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I think that's good because, oh,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Well,
uh,
I started the ECD and that's all there is. Nobody else can have that.
right.
That'll work. That'll work. And then Dear Prudence.
Oh,
Dear
that was a good one.
Prudence. And that was from the White Album in 1968. And I think it stood on the charts for 8 weeks.
8 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Of course, it changed rocks forever.
All I remember
Oh.
is, why don't we do it in the road?
Pretty wild, man. That could be hard.
And the other,
Hard.
the last song on that album was "A Day in the Life,"
Yeah.
Oh, Day in the Life. Okay.
and has the longest chord sustain still at
Hmm.
the end. But then there's a track right after that that is not even listed.
Oh yeah, the hidden track.
Yeah,
I got to check that out. I mean, we could
but
stream all those
they're
now.
saying that the song was written about. I read the news today, oh boy, about a lucky man who made the grade. He blew his mind out in a car. They say that was about Paul McCartney.
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. And of course, he ends up quitting the band when he was 27. And they said, "Oh, life is over." And then he started up the new band,
Yeah.
Wings. So hey, so life is not over when you quit a most successful job. Yeah. And then
Well, I tell you what, there are times where you wish your life was over after you've quit a successful job. I used to be a Braille instructor for the National Federation of the Blind, and it's the best job I ever had. I'd give
hmm,
anything to have that job right about now. But I'm
hmm.
grateful. I'm thankful. A little cold, but I'm still grateful and thankful.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, well preserved. I
Well
tell you.
preserved. That's right.
I
Yeah.
think my fingers are turning blue.
Oh man. You know
In
what?
all seriousness, you know what, folks? If you're up shopping at Walmart and you think about it, go ahead and round your purchases up to the next dollar. And the best way to do that is to either go to the Walmart website directly or to the Spark Good Foundation. Um, they have a program where if you type in your favorite nonprofit, which of course is Intervision, um, you're going to be able to round up to the next dollar. Sure, it's not really going to help Alan stay warm, but it will help physically disabled, financially challenged musicians and recording artists, also content creators, get their stuff out there so that they can have exposure. There is this 70 to 90% unemployment rate within the blind community. We got to fix that. We got to change that, especially with the SNAP program being overhauled. Hey, let's just be better people and let's not be the folks that need that. Now, honestly, shoot, the blind, okay, maybe they think they're entitled. We think we're entitled. I'll tell you true. I lived without it until 5 years ago when the pandemic hit. I might have gotten $8, $16, $23. What is that? Not when the crack whore down the street's getting her hundreds for her escapades and her family. So
Man,
let them have it.
yeah, we had a little bit of controversy in the building. I guess someone, one of these streetwalkers, was trying to get in the building, and this lady who's a friend of lady who was married to this guy says, "Don't let her in. You know, he should get back with his wife." And he said, "What floor did she go to?" And I said, "Oh wow." It's like, okay. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just,
Hey, you remember that story I told you about that one time that I came down to see you in person? I had to walk through a transaction of questionable substances, and I got drawn down upon, and I'm like, put that away. You don't need that. I'm just walking through.
oh man. We had some very, very like there was this one instance, it was some kind of holiday party that was coming up, and this
Uh,
guy wanted people to sing, but this guy wanted to sing this one song, but decides, "I don't want you to sing that song." So he says, "No, I'm not going to play." So then they're sitting downstairs talking about it. And so these are older guys. So the guy
okay.
comes downstairs, jumps across the table, knocks the guy down, And so
Wow.
it's like over a song that you didn't
Wow.
want to do. I said, wow, I see some pretty interesting stuff that goes on in the
Oh, I thought
film.
we were crazy growing up, man.
Yeah, musician stuff, kind of stuff. Oh, and okay, speaking of The Winner Takes It All, ABBA came out in 1980 with the song The Winner Takes It All. Was there a breakup in the band? Or was this just a song?
I don't, all I know is I kind of had this love-hate relationship with ABBA. I loved their music. I loved the fact that they were, there were women in the band, and oh boy, but the style of music just didn't hit it for me. But, they were kind of, I guess they were billed as sort of Christian before Christian was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's wow. Okay, and
They
then
they had some wonderful harmonies and stuff
Oh
in there.
gosh.
oh yeah, yeah, they were and then of course when they came out with that movie Mamma Mia, I think it was a musical.
Oh, did they
And
do that?
yeah, and I used to know these people that were like 12 years older than me, these old women. Well, at the time it was older than they were old women. I think I was like in my late 40s, and these ladies that were older than me, like 12 years old, they would go and see this play called Mamma Mia, and it was like a big girls thing kind of thing. The girls
Huh.
would go out and watch this musical, which I guess it was a musical on Broadway, and then they took it out, and then it became a musical and a movie. I'm not sure. Did the movie come first or the uh, the Broadway
Broadway.
production?
I don't know.
Huh. But anyway, but I just remember these women would talk about it all the time, and I think they might have asked me if I wanted to go, and I said, I don't want to go to that.
Hey, toss that down there in the comment. What do you folks in the Intervision FM universe remember about the Broadway uh, musical Mamma Mia versus the movie?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and then here's Billie Eilish. She's getting ready to make another one. I guess it's becoming very popular to go on the road and then take videos of what's going on backstage and in front of stage. I mean, it worked. It
Hmm.
worked for Taylor Swift.
Sure, why
So
not?
Billie Eilish is- so it's a, so she's teaming up with a major director, and it's called Dream Come True. Oh,
Hmm.
what a name! Okay,
Wow.
so if you want to know behind the scene about Billie Eilish, that's the movie soon to be in the theaters. Crazy. Now, this next story will be the reason why you're gaining weight. And we were talking about this a little bit before the show. So I guess the blue light, which they know that if you use a red light, it'd be more healing. Green light, probably the same thing. But they choose to use this blue light. And now tell me the theory about that you were talking about, Alan. You
Oh,
guys.
well, for this one, you just have to screw your tinfoil hat on so tight that it cracks your brain pan. But in this theory, it basically says that low-level electromagnetic fields are manipulated using this blue light. Um, you can theoretically and allegedly, of course, manipulate people's mental states with this blue light. It not only has been proven to jack with people's circadian rhythms, their sleep patterns, but some believe that if it's pulsed correctly, if it is fed into the human brain correctly, it will force you to continue to scroll. So, for instance, if you're on Facebook and you find yourself doom scrolling, and all of a sudden it's 6 hours later, it's not your fault. It's the fault of the blue light, man.
That's wild. That's wild. And then
They say if you put your screen to grayscale rather than color
Mhm.
phone, that'll take care of that.
Right.
And it does stop you from scrolling.
No, it doesn't stop you from scrolling, but it will make it to where you don't lose time and you're just like, Because I've seen this, man, where people will just zone out. I mean, they'll pick up their phone and they'll start looking at stuff, and you'll be having a conversation with them, and they'll just drop the thread. They won't lose it. They'll just straight up drop the thread. You're like,
Hmm.
so we were talking about the weather. They're like, oh, yeah, the weather. What was I saying?
Oh man. All right. And I don't know how it causes like prostate cancer in general and stuff like that. I mean, unless you just, you're laying it on your lap while you're sleeping, like usually like I know there's people that they put the phone away from them when they're about to go to sleep. Just and they said that you should wind down, you know.
I shut mine off and leave it on my desk. I don't take it to bed with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that's
sleep
me.
better without it there.
That's me as
Yeah.
well. It's a protocol that I use. I call it the phone coffin. So basically, I'll put the thing to bed. I mean, I'll put it in a drawer. I'll forget about it. And find something else to put myself to sleep, whether it's prayer. In fact, prayer is really awesome. First Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51 is how I got saved. I did that when I was 8, and I would encourage anybody and everybody to get saved today if that's what they're wanting to do. If you come to the end of yourself and you just can't sleep and you just you toss and turn all the time, you can
Mm,
find peace, and that peace is through salvation. So
definitely, yeah.
that's kind of how I how I
Yeah.
relax.
And speaking about salvation, Steve Martin and
A
and
wild and crazy guy.
and speaking on Selena Gomez and what's his guy's last name? And Billy Blanco. What a name! No, no, no. That's this is and
This is a
Selena
guy that
Gomez and
Blanco,
huh?
Billy
Blanco,
Blanco,
Billy
Blanco or
Blanco.
Blanco.
Blanco,
Yeah,
tomato,
yeah.
tomato.
They're getting married, but I'm kind of figuring out why is Steve so interested in this lady marriage? I mean, it's not his daughter, I don't think.
Hmm.
But I didn't look that deeply into it. So if you guys look deeper into it, why maybe my big Greek marriage? He wasn't he in the movie about my big
My
Greek
big fat
wedding?
Greek marriage or whatever that was called.
Was
Greek wedding.
yeah. I don't, was he in that one or no? Ah,
I
nah.
have no
Okay.
idea.
Didn't see it.
Huh? See. So anyway, so he's very interested in Gomez's wedding. Oh, Khloé Kardashian. That she experienced this very traumatic experience. I guess her one of her ex-husband. She he burnt her journal, and I can't imagine somebody because he said he had this paranoid that she was submitting things about him to the government, and I guess he was often. I said that's a far stretch, man. I said okay, and so as he's burning it, she said she actually broke down and started crying and said, "Why are you doing this?" And I don't know, man.
You must not know.
That's Lamar Odom, I guess is what his name is.
Hmm.
But have you had ex girlfriends or wives or whatever like burn your stuff? I mean, I had these picture album and I had all these pictures when I was in my 20s. Um, and when I lived out in California, and they just came and just threw them in the trash, and I saw them in the trash, and I felt and I thought, why didn't I just take those out? I could have gave them to my roommate, not my roommate, my best friend downstairs, and eventually scan them into the computer and kept those pictures because I mean it was pictures of like I think back in the day when I was like 145 pounds. And it's like it just is. And I had this best friend in California named Marlon, and we were on the beach, and we took some fun pictures out there. That it was just cool. And it was back in the day when you had an afro. So it's like, those are long gone. But I figured you can't take it with you. I guess I guess she finally felt like that. She said she won't try to replace any of those journals. And sometimes now she'd write down things and just throw it away. And so she's more at that stage of life where she says, nothing will last forever, you know. So why keep these but I know this once knew this hoarder that had her son's uh drawings and stuff like that from the time like he was in kindergarten, and she had all this stuff, and it was her garage was full, and at one point she couldn't invite the guy to come in and fix her sink because she was such a hoarder and had all the stuff in her house, and she felt embarrassed. I said, well, if we just clean up the place, you won't feel embarrassed and he can come fix the sink. And it was a nice place too, but it was just full of junk.
See, it's interesting because when you get to that place where your stuff matters, it actually doesn't matter, but it does matter. It's a paradox, is what happens. You get chained to the fact that you have all this stuff and you don't want any of it, but yet you can't bear to get rid of any of it at all either, because it has sentimental value or it has value that you place upon it. Well, I can't dare get rid of this because, and then it cascades from there to everything in your house. I mean, well, I
Yeah.
can't get rid of this because, well, this ties to this and this. It's a hard thing when
Oh yeah.
Don't want to
when
be
you
one of the understuffed.
exactly.
Right. Who was that guy who played the piano who was extravagant? He had a whole house dedicated to his clothes. What is
Yeah,
his name?
I don't remember. I know I know the story. I'm just like, okay, so you have a house for your clothing. How interesting.
Oh man. So hey, if you guys have any stories of hoarders that you live near or
That's
that you
right.
know,
That's right.
you might even be one yourself. Tell us a story. Hey, we're 5 minutes over. We
Wow.
get so wrapped up in this stuff. Uh,
Good thing
but
cows don't fly.
It's a good thing cows don't fly. Ah, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a lot of good shows here coming up in the next few. We're going into the Thanksgiving holiday, so do have a happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas if if you're getting together with your family in the holiday season, that kind of stuff. It's what a good time to be alive, you guys.
yeah. And some people took off on Saturday and flew out on Saturday,
Right.
getting a head start. So hey, so was planning ahead. Anyway, it's time for another glazed donut. I'm gonna